for hours, all morning long. He's here with me right now, and he was just pointing over here. Do you want to talk about where you guys got started this morning?
Yeah, we got started. This is where the call came. 135 disabled elderly individuals that got evacuated from Bradenton, did the right thing and got transferred here so they would be safe. You imagine how difficult of a task it was. They didn't walk. They were, in wheelchairs, sitting in 4 to 5 feet of water. So proud of the men and women and what they've done to make sure they rescued them. And now you'll take a look as we're going through here and just see how catastrophic the 16 inches of rain and floodwaters are here. This is an area of town where they're hardworking and they don't have a lot. They don't live paycheck to paycheck. They live day to day, and the very little bit that they had, they've lost.
Incredibly heartbreaking. We've seen them waving down your rescue vehicles that have been going in and out all day long. In fact, we see one coming right here. Talk about, and let's bring something else up. You just had an incredible moment. A 14-year-old boy was hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, incredible. We were coming down. He evacuated to a friend's house, and he was walking back. Didn't realize how deep the water was. Didn't realize that he wasn't as strong a swimmer as he thought he was. It was literally like out of a Castaway movie, him laying on some top of a fence, waving us, out of breath, gasping for air as we pulled him up, took him up to up where it's a lot drier, got him off so he could finish walking home. I mean, the efforts here have been incredible. I'm so grateful that it's going well. But you're right, my heart shatters. You'll see that the water's up to the windowsills. People on the first floor of all these apartments. This is a large, predominantly Latino neighborhood, and the church is gone. They've literally lost everything.
And we were talking, out here, these are people that were not in an... Okay, why? They went in zone.
To tell you, ago, I started as a sign. Love the community. In 33 years, I've never seen flooding remotely close to what we see now. This is why a lot of people didn't evacuate. This is why people evacuated here. We never expected this. We have our usual suspect areas, but Plant City here, again, for those without power that are complaining that they're uncomfortable, I get that. Listen, that pales in comparison to what this community's gone through.
And we have seen, yes, the nursing home was 100, or the assisted living facility 135, but hours of them just transporting family after family, small children, animals, everything. So this has to be in the hundreds by now.
Absolutely. I don't know what the number is. I don't know if we'll be able to keep track. We have 3 amphibious vehicles, multiple John boats, Zodiacs, and the airboat like we're on now, and they've been nonstop since they deployed here hours ago.
Wow, just incredible. And certainly, hearing the first responders, they've been on 24/7. We've seen you posting absolutely everything. Thank you so much for being out here. And I talked to a woman who was rescued with her dog, and she said when she saw you, she was very thankful for you. And she just said as soon as she saw your boat and everyone, just how grateful they were. And just talk about how much longer this is going to be going on today.
My fear is going to be going on for quite some time, because there's nowhere for this water to go. It's not storm surge that comes in and leaves. This is that crazy flood water when you get 16 inches of rain. And again, we're so heavily saturated. The rivers are already high. I'm afraid the Alafai River will crest here in the next day or two. This water, quite simply, just has nowhere to go. You'll see the cars that they've lost. If you turn the camera and look over here to the right, you can barely see 2 cars back in the corner. You can barely see the roofs of the car. This is very deep in some areas. Again, my heart breaks, my heart shatters for this portion of our community.
And something else that I thought was interesting was the fact that we are on an airboat, because it's very deep over there, but other places are very shallow, and that's the purpose of the airboat. But then you also have the higher up vehicles. How much do these vehicles help you to prepare for something like this?
We couldn't do it without the resources, the tools, and training we have. I thank the county administrator and our county commission all the time. Imagine a scenario where we don't have these resources and we're standing there wishing we could help people.
And you mentioned their church. I mean, there it is. This is their church. This is their whole community. You can see, if you pan over there to the right, they have bags over their heads. That's their belongings. They're getting out of their homes. Oh my goodness, they're floating on a mattress over here. Floating on a mattress. I I mean, this is they've left with everything they have. You can see bags above their heads, and that is why, oh wow, it goes the whole way down here as well. This is just, I mean, unbelievable.
Devastating, catastrophic. It's going to take some time. This community is very resilient. We will get through it. We will get through it together. But again, this has to make you emotional just to see individuals that suffer like these individuals are suffering.
And just so everyone knows, up ahead there are a ton of rescue vehicles up here just continually rescuing folks. And as you mentioned, just heartbreaking. As soon as we got here, I mentioned to you, I think it's very hard to hold it together. Just seeing this devastation, seeing these people who are for this, you know, just everything. Continue to watch these as folks are brought out. But thank you, Sheriff, so much for your time. Thank you to your officers, your deputies, and you know, we've seen different agencies together. What do you want to say to residents?
Thank you for your support. We're only as strong as the community supports us. That's why these deputies, the Hillsborough County Fire men and women that are out here that have been sleeping at the office, on the floor, wherever they can to get a little bit of rest, they would serve nowhere else but here because this community supports us. And for that, I'm forever indebted.
Thank you, Sheriff, so much. And we're going to send it back to you guys, and we'll check back in just a bit.
All right, Melissa, my goodness, it's a situation.
All right, so that's Melissa Marino doing an incredible job with Hillsborough Sheriff Chad Chronister. I just want everyone to kind of hear this and listen to this. I think that there's, yeah, hold on. Let's circle this back, and this is with audio now. Let's listen in. Oh, hold on. One more time. Replay with audio. There it is. This is what Sheriff Chad Chronister was talking about. This is a rescue of a 14-year-old that they came across, a 14-year-old that was floating on a piece of fence in the water.
It's
Watch
incredible.
This.
Sorry.
Okay, let me spin around.
So that's on Sheriff Chad Chronister's page. I mean, absolutely wild what we're seeing. People
It's
floating on
unbelievable.
mattresses, on fences.
Yeah. It looks like a river they're on, right? Or a lake.
That is a flooded
It's-
neighborhood, folks.
That water is incredibly deep. And, I mean, the emotion that we heard from Sheriff Chronister there, it's just heart-wrenching to see these images playing out live here via News Channel 8 and through our streaming here. It's, I mean, you
And
think
we're
it
going to
happens
talk
other
about
places.
Sarasota here in just a minute.
Yeah.
I want to get back. Hold on, because we have more live interviews coming
About
in.
this little village.